Hello everyone, welcome to another episode on the How to Get an Internship series from InternMakers. I'm Alejandro and in this episode I'm going to show you 4 steps to turn a career fair into an internship or a job. Career fairs are super overwhelming, especially if it's your first one. I remember in my first career fair that every single recruiter told me to just come back next year because I was just not experienced enough. I don't want that to happen to you, but just in case you don't know what a career fair is or what a conference is, you should watch this video. You can also find a list of other conferences and career fairs and some basic tips on how to prepare for them. What I'm going to show you in this video helped me get a ton of interviews at different conferences and career fairs. When I went to the SHIP conference a couple of years ago, I was invited to 3 different interviews before the conference even started. So that was amazing. In this specific conference, there's a midday career fair on Friday that runs for about 4 hours. And then there's a full day conference on Saturday, which runs for the full day. So on that Friday for about 2 to 3 hours, I was invited to 3 more interviews that were scheduled for the next day. So on Saturday, instead of going to the career fair, I spent all of my day practicing for interviews. And these are all of the steps that I use to prepare. So step number 1, you should upload your resume very early to the conference website or app. Most companies look at these resumes before the conference starts, so like a couple of weeks before, because they want to look at the candidates and see which people they want to interview during the conference. So this is how I got those 3 interviews before the conference started. I just uploaded my resume very early. Step number 2, get the list of companies that are attending the conference and look for positions online. So you should go to every single website of all of these companies and look for something that might be interesting for you, you know? So this means going to the website, going to the career page, and then just filtering out. So you should be attentive for positions that are open only for that conference. So let's say, for example, you're going to the SHIP conference, then it would say, I don't know, software engineer, and then in parentheses, SHIP conference or something like that. So that means that this position is open only for the people that are going to that conference. So that also means that if you are applying for that position, you're only competing with the people that actually went to that conference. So that's very good. If you want to know how to do proper research online on companies, you should watch this video. Step number 3, make a plan to talk to the companies that you're interested in. So now you already did your research, you know all the companies that are going. So you should go and rank each one of the ones you are interested in. So if you have one that is your favorite one, then rank it as number 1, and then number 2, number 3, and so on. So you should also write a short description of each company. So let's say you want to know their mission, their products, their industry, any relevant news, where are the headquarters, what's the location of the headquarters, things like that. That's super important because most of these recruiters will ask you the question like, why do you want to work for this company? So if you know all of these things beforehand, that's going to be very helpful. Also, if you can write down the career booth number, you can usually find that as well in the website or in the app. And this will be very helpful because this way, whenever you're in the career fair and you're looking for specific companies, you can go to look at the ceiling. Usually you will find all the rows and all the booth numbers lined up in there. So if you know which company you want to talk to and you know which number you're looking for, then it's going to be very, very easy to go and talk to that company. So it's going to be very helpful. So in the end, you should have a table looking like this. I will have a template of this table in a shared document so you can all see it. So I'll post the URL below. Step number 4, prepare to talk to recruiters. You have to know what you're going to say at the career fair. I'm going to give you a few samples of questions that you can use at the career fair. And you might choose to use them, or you might choose to do some research and find some others, but you can definitely use these ones. If you're interested in questions about the position, you can ask, hey, what are the top skills that you're looking for the most in candidates applying for this position? Hey, how does a company measure performance for interns? Is there any system for feedback? Or what kind of projects have other interns worked on during their internships? These are all questions that show that you're very interested in knowing about that position and people applying for that position. So it's very helpful to ask those questions. You should also ask questions about the company. You could ask things like, hey, what's the company culture like? Or, hey, what do you enjoy the most about working for this company? You can also ask, are there opportunities for ongoing training throughout the organization? What's the percentage of interns returning as full-time employees? Asking these questions is also very important because that shows that you're not only interested in the position, but you're also interested in the company. So just by asking those questions and receiving like genuine answers from employees, you will see if that company is a fit for you or not. And just to conclude, you can ask, hey, may I contact you with further questions? Do you have a business card? Something like that. Or just ask for the email account or something like that, just in case you need to follow up or you want to ask them something. It's definitely very important to have that contact info. Now, those are all great questions to ask, but you should also be prepared to answer some of these questions. Tell me about yourself, which is also known as the elevator pitch, kind of. Also, why are you interested in this company? Or what do you know about this company? And lastly, can you tell me X thing that is in your resume? So these are all, I would say these are like the basic questions that most recruiters ask. And you should have at least an answer for each one of these ones for each company. So you should definitely prepare. I know it's a lot, but it's worth it. It's worth it. I have done it and it was very helpful for me. And I think you should do it as well. I messed up really bad in my first conferences. I mean, I didn't prepare at all. And I ended up going, like getting in line to talk to this company that I didn't really know. And I was like in line with my phone, like looking up the company online just to know what they were doing, like what the industry was, what products they had. And I was just trying to learn something from them, but the internet was so slow. There was no Wi-Fi. The signal was slow because there were so many people there. You should actually expect that in the conference. Since there are like so many people together, internet may be a little slow. So that's why it's important to do some research. I mean, it also happened to me that I went to talk to someone, like a recruiter, and I had no idea about anything about the company and my phone was not working. So I had to ask them like, hey, so what do you all do? And then they tell me, oh, we do this. I'm like, okay, well, thank you. Or like, not interested. Recruiters don't like when you approach them and you have no clue what the company does. So that's why it's important to prepare. Now I want to ask you something. What's the most embarrassing thing that has happened to you at a career fair or conference? Post your comments below. If you have never been at a conference or career fair, what's the most embarrassing thing you have done at a resume workshop or at a professional workshop? Just let us know. We would love to hear about that. Lastly, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I hope you find this information useful. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on social media, which is on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, and you will find some more tips over there.